research and writing. So today we will review the second week for formulating research questions. So we want to make the questionnaire, and how can we make it? How do we make it the question, research question? And also continues is a literature survey. So as I said, we are research two kind of approach. First thing is questionnaire methodology. The other one is research methodology, literature survey. So questionnaire survey is some people have a kind of character or trend, something like, as you know, today, this year, very big role in November for president's election. So at that time, we choose the sampling and what they support who. So Harris or McDonald, something like that. So in this case, we cannot survey all population. So we choose some sample, and then the samples represents for all population. And then we using the statistics methodology, and then we decide or we guess the characters. So nowadays, very closely who wins the presidents next year. So there are many professional and deeply difficult statistical methodology in there. So anyway, we know this, who is more supporter from people. As you know, there's which states support them, there's more Rust Belt, more something, Sunny Belt, lots of the news in here. That kind of questionnaire is quantitative research methodology. And the other one is literature survey. Literature survey is representative example is history or more language style. History is history, the former story, former record. These things is survey or literatures or many kind of tremendous the report or dissertation and articles, and then we review the literature, and then what they think, what is that, and what is the future, or something like that. This kind of approach, we say literature survey. So later we will review the more detail, but yeah. So sorry. So today we will review the formulating research questions. So how can we formulate? And the continuous conducting the literature survey methods. So we want to study first. Today, the learning objectives and outcomes. So at the end of this class, this chapter you should be able to explain what research is. What is research? and understand the purpose of research. What is the purpose of research? And also understand the objectives and the products of research. What is the objectives of research? And what is the products of research? We can understand. Also, we should be able to compare different approaches to research. There are many kinds of researches in there, and then how we compare the differences among the research. And continues, so you should be able to foresee a project's life cycle. It means forecasting. Forecasting is very important for reading the futures. So the research questions forecasts, overviews, or something. Also foresees the process of research. And continues, so we should be able to manage the steps of research. Kind of steps, several steps, science is approach, method, steps. And also be able to manage your skills. There are many kinds of research questions. So you can understand, manage the skills. Also manage your motivations and manage your efforts, manage changes. So in the society has many kind of motivations, skills, and efforts, and also lots of changes. So research also area followed the kind of changes. Okay, so let's move to first. What is a research questions? A research question is a query that a study aims to answer. Often it's addressing to issues or problems. We live in the society have lots of problems and issues. Many kinds of issues, as you know them. So the research question aims to answer the lots of questions and issues. So research question outlines the study focus. The research questions give to the outline. We cannot understand everything, everywhere. So some designated area, limited area, because we can do it everything. We cannot do it. Also, we cannot read the all population's thinking or idea. Who support? Support whom? Harris or Trump? Republican or Democrat? We cannot ask all of them. That's why we choose the sampling. And then we can ask the sampling around later. I think that we will review that. Now, president election is around 1,000. So, as you know, in the United States is 3.3 billion population. We cannot question it to all of them. So we sampled by methods, the specified method, and I choose around 1,000 samples in the world, in the United States. And then we ask them. Finally, guess all populations support Republican 48%, Democratic 49%, plus minus others range plus minus 3 points or something like that. this is for technique, for statistics. So that kind of example. Also, that's why the research question is outline the study focused, including the population, variables, and problems being investigated. We want to investigate all of them, but it's impossible. So in this case, we choose the variables and with the variables moving, and we guess or forecasts for the future. And all people, idea, and trend something. This is the research questions. So research question is a question which is the study or research project through its thesis statement. Also, research questions aims to answers very narrow or limited areas can answer the questions. This is aims for research questions. This question often addresses the issue and problems, as I said. So through analysis and interpretation of data, we correct the data. Sometimes we say the samples, and then we analyze and interpret the data. Last time I talked to you, there are history. What is that history? History, we can say record. History is record. Record possesses lots of information there because it's tracks and history, record. And history is record. And we can choose the data. Also, history is raw data or something, raw data. Sometimes exactly we say the data, or exactly says raw data. And data is history, also data is record. And we choose the sample. We say the sampling. Sampling and secondary data. All population in the United States. But we cannot say this how many percentage supports the next president. We cannot. So sampling around 1,000 people, and that we can ask them to who support. And then we can make the secondary data. Secondary data is forecasting. And we say 48% by Republican, 47% Democratic, or something like that, forecasting. So sampling and forecasting. This is for specified and representative statistics, especially social statistical methodology. So in the secondary data includes the information. It means data include lots of tremendous information in here, but we cannot read it. And more sampling, or more literature survey, or more questionnaire survey, these things we can make the secondary data. And the secondary data, we can read the included information in there. So you heard a lot of the big data. Another example, big data. What's the big data? This data is big data. So if you're using your iPhone, handphone, cellular phone, computer, laptop, all things you record, you find something information and the keyword, all of them accumulated data. And the data can read your, now you, what kind of your focused, interesting area. And what is your status? What is your goal? What is thinking nowadays? Everything the big data can read it. So now another special, very specified area is data mining. How can we mine the data? Tremendous data. And then the important or meaningful record, meaningful information from the data. This is data mining. These things is recently trend about the data information. So big data is tremendous data. How can we read it? Data mining. And so these things can, using the lots of methodology, related AI and machine learning and something like many kind of methodology. This is research question. Big title is research question, and then we follow these things. This is big data, and data mining is you can using these things. Also, in most studies, the research questions is written so that it outlines various aspects of the studies, various aspects. For example, including the population and the variables to be studied and problems the study addresses. So, okay, variables. Variable. Variable means, I cannot see to you because I have glasses. Okay, that's it. Oh, that's okay, everything. Yeah. Okay, that's okay. Variables. All phenomena we can express this type. Functions type. This is function. So we can say it's an independent function. All phenomena in the world we can express function fx. And these things, how can we express them or explain? Okay, ax1 plus bx2 plus n x n plus epsilon t, something like that. It means in the world, every phenomena, every status, everything we can explain this type. So, for example, my children wants to admit the university. Okay, this is one. My son wants to get an admission for UCLA. This is F. So, my son wants to, if my son wants to get in the UCLA, this is UCLA admission. So how can you get the admission for UCLA? There are many kind of reasons. At least n factors affected the getting the UCLA. So first thing is my GPA and the sports record. And the students dominate student survey or extra credit. Lots of reasons the successful admission in UCLA. So the goal is getting the UCLA. But there are many kind of reasons there. High GPA, more sports record, student survey, more something extra credit, lots of things affected the admission of UCLA. So we can express this style. So we cannot choose everything. So representative factors only 3. Because it's very difficult to choose every factors. There are many kind of factors. Only the important or very stressed factors choose 1 to 3. Plus epsilon. That's it. So I can explain for admit UCLA, F UCLA goes AX1 plus BX2 plus CX3 plus epsilon. So GPA and sports record and student survey and epsilon T. Epsilon T is missing bias. It means there are many kind of factors, x3, x4, 5, 6, 7, and except x1, 2, 3, and everything is represented in here. This is biasing, it's error. Error. We cannot explain, we cannot choose the factors. This is errors. So anyway, very important factors. I choose 3 values, and then 3 variables can explain the final outcomes. Outcome is independent values, independent factors. This is dependent factors. It means is if I getting GPA below 3.0, we cannot explain UCLA. So okay, 4.5 GPAs it should be able to admit the UCLA, something like that. This is for model system in variables. So variables means is we have some trend and characters. And then how can we explain the characters? By variables, okay? So this is, question is including the variables. So definition is for picture says what is an research questions. Very summarized definition is as shown there. The certain idea of what you wish to focus on in your research, the issue you wish to prove limited, answerable, and closed. Let me explain that. There another definition is that the answer should not be in your notes or in anyone's sources. It means is that there are many kinds of answers and approaches. So should not be in your notes. Also reflect upon what you learned this year or this time or next time or yesterday. Also requires critical thinking to answers. I think, for example, nowadays is very hot issues is the president role. So exactly direct questions to populations. Do you support democratic? Something like that. Or do you support Harris? This is directly questions. So sometimes it's not critical things. First thing is, what is your character? You're the conservative or Democrat style, and then or none. Decide. So you are Republican, it's exactly the people support the Trump. But some people cannot say that. I don't want to say. Sometimes we say more shy Republican, more shy Democrat, shy Trump, more shy Harris, or something like that. It means is I cannot say to you. So we think these things include or respect. This one is critical thinking to questioning. Also, you must evaluate the facts and draw your own conclusion. If you decide your questions, and then evaluate the fact only. Very careful for announce the fact. So last time I want to say there are very interesting words for the lady presidents for this election this year. Did you heard that this word? Alternative facts. What's the meaning? You cannot read in the dictionary. Alternative facts. What means alternative? Alternative means is instead of the main choosing. This is alternatives. So this word made from Donald Trump. Donald Trump election parties make it alternative facts. So alternative fact means I can decide the fact. Everybody shows some pictures. And then many people, all people don't think same thing. That's why this is alternative facts. Exactly this example, this one. Donald Trump was elected by United States presidents last 4 years ago. And some reporters compare how many people collected in the Washington D.C.'s White House. And Obama president has lots of crowded people in the White House. But Donald Trump corrected people very scarcely, even if he was elected by the president. So Donald Trump has very angry. And some reports says it's almost 10 times for small people is coming. Donald Trump says it is fact. But I don't understand and I don't agree that because this is alternative facts. I know that the people is coming, but somebody think about it's very scarce people. But somebody think it's very crowded people there. That's why I choose the another thing. So they say this is alternative facts. Very interesting new word. Oh, very funny. Some joke there. It's alternative fact. Anyway, if you're choosing and doing the questionnaire, research question, and you must evaluate the fact only. Okay, it's very interesting, important things. This is for research question. So another definition I show that these pictures. A research question is very clear, as I said, is very fact only. So I said is evaluate the fact, and very focused because it means, as I said, so you cannot read everything, some limited area or focused area, and concise, very dense, and complex, also arguable. Arguable means is even if you make research question, but there are many different ideas there. So first, research question is clear, focused, concise, complex, and arguable question around you center your research. So you should ask a question about an issues you are genuinely curious about. There are many kind of curious things, and then how you approach through the questionnaire. This is questionnaire definition. And the research process. And then we can decide the focus, the questionnaire, and then what kind of, how can we process the research. Wait. I want to make more large. Okay. The process. First steps, you identify the problem. What kind of problem? What kind of issues? More exactly identify the problems and the issues. And next step is receiving literature. Reviewing literature. So that means it's a formal research. You have to suggest and the methodology from formal research or formal literature. That is the reviewing research and literature. And next step is setting research questions, objectives, and hypotheses. So, okay, you should be reviewed the literature and then choose the variables or theories from the former literature. And then you setting the research questions, objectives, and hypotheses. Hypothesis means you guess what most people likes it or something like that. This is hypothesis. First, you define the hypothesis, some theory. For example, the old people likes better than young people about smartphone, something like that. And then your hypothesis, and you make a questionnaire and analysis. And finally, in conclusion, you can say that this hypothesis agree that or not reject, or agree, or something like that. This is hypothesis. And next step about the research process is choosing the study design. It means if I choose the old people and the M generations, G generations, I want to compare the M and the G generations about the we using the phone hour or something, and then they decide the researchers choose the study design. Okay, I design for questionnaire for 30 questions, and I choose the M generation and G generation, about 500 people, choosing in the UCLA or USC campus or something like that. And next research process is deciding on the sample design. As I said, how can you make the samples? You cannot take questionnaire to all M generation and MG generation. So you have to decide the samples. There are some difficult methodology for sampling. It's another area. Anyway, this is very difficult. And next research process is collecting data. It means if you fix the questionnaires and then you decide front of the USC campus 100 questionnaire, and then I choose. And another method is USC and make questionnaire 100, something like that. This is for collecting data processing. And next step is processing and analyzing data. It means if I collect the data from the students, and then these things we say the raw data. So raw data from the questionnaire, and then we analyze some tools, SPSS, or something more SAS or more Excels. We analyzed the data. The data, we say the raw data, and analyze the data, and we can get the secondary data. Secondary data is some manipulated data, and then we got secondary data. It's more easy to read the phenomena or status. This is secondary data. So the sampling and collecting data and processing correct data and analyze the data. And writing the report from the box or pictures, something. So secondary data is shows to the conclusion. First, we say the hypothesis. So M generation and G generation has no difference for using the iPhone. Something like that. And the writer report is first I say the hypothesis, and then this hypothesis exactly agree that or not agree that, something like that. And you report. After 5 weeks later, we can review the writing class, research and writing. So after 5 weeks, the midterm, and the 6 weeks, we will study about the writing area. So if some researchers reports these things, and then other researchers have some question, and the time is changed, and or some status is changed, or some people think about that it's a man and woman, boy and girls, what is the difference, even if the MG generation. Something like that, lots of issues in there. So this research process is circular. This is a research question through the theory or phenomena, status, research processing. And next chapter is why is developing the research question important? More important for progress the research questions. So when beginning our research, whether it be for class assignment or our own personal interest, we may have a basic idea about topics we want to learn about, such as global warming or the legalization of marijuana. There are many kinds of issues in the world. Even if they have a very narrow area and the time processing, anyway, lots of issues in the society. So the research question is very important, because there is every policy or some trends, research area is focused that we can read the trend, fashion, and then we can make the policy. Anyway, we have to read the phenomena, and then we can make it the next plans. That's why. So developing a research question is crucial, very crucial, because it is very narrows down a broad topic into a specific area of study. It also guides the research frameworks, methodology, and analysis, ensuring the study's cohesion and relevance. These things is for more developing the research questions. So primarily important of developing research question is it is narrow down a broad topic of interesting into a specific area of studies. So research question is along with hypothesis also serve as a guiding framework for research. This question is also specifically reveal the boundaries of the study, setting its limits and ensuring cohesion. As I said, it's limited, focused. It means we cannot understand or interpret everything. So in this case, how we know the phenomenon and trend. So the importance of research question is very narrow and some limited area. That's why the reason of importance of research questions. So this summarize the importance of the research question. Let's show this box. The research question is the starting point of the study, point of study. So everything flows from the research questions. It will determine the population to be studied, the setting for the study, the data to be collected, and the time period of study. The clear and concisely stated research question is the most important requirements for the successful study. It means even if the same issues or problems, but the time is past that, and then the change the characters. So the researchers determine the population to be studied for time base. 19th century and 20th century, almost for example, after iPhone generation, before iPhone generation, or something like that. So there are many kind of requirements for successful study area. This is for reason of importance of research questions. And next is what are the different types of research questions? There are two things. One thing is quantitative questions. The other one is qualitative questions. Basically, type of research question we divided in two things. So research questions can be categorized into quantitative, qualitative, and some books says mixed method. Something mixed quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative questions are precise and structured. Qualitative questions are flexible and exploratory. And mixed method question combine both approaches. This is three things basically, but the basic divided with two things. Quantitative questions. Quantitative questions is descriptive question, also comparative questions, and relationship related question. What is the relationship? What is comparative between A and B? And also descriptive questions. This is quantitative questions. At the other hand, the qualitative questions is exploratory questions, something like questioning. And also predictive question, forecasting. And also interpretive questions. This is qualitative questions. These two things is mixed and then using the two kind of some methodology and then mixed method. So also this question is types descriptive, relational, and causal. As in the pictures, there are some dog, this is dog, and relational means is a DNA system. And then what is the reason? Reason is to this genuine is very clever dog and then a different dog, something like that. So type of research questions is descriptive, relational, and comparable. Descriptive means describing groups and exploring the groups and society characters. And the relational means is association between two variables in a group. We designate some groups, and then in the groups, so boy and girls, what is a different idea? What is a different characters? Something like that. This is relational between two variables. Also, the other type is comparable. Comparable is compare. So association between two or more variables in two or more groups. Causality, predictions, interventions. It means between two or more variables. For example, if I example in the admission of the UCLA, as I said, so some groups GPA is very high, over 4.5. But even if the admitted was admitted in the UCLA, but it's below 4.0 GPA. What is the difference? So the researchers associated between three groups. For example, over 4.5 groups. And between 4.0 to 4.4, second group. And third group is below 3.9 groups. And compare them. The three kind of groups have each different variables. And then researchers can compare the results. Even if the different GPA, but they enrolled or admitted from UCLA. That's that. This is type of research question. And also I can express another pictures as is descriptive questions, exploratory questions, explanatory questions, comparative questions, predictive questions, quantitative questions, qualitative questions. But basically, as I said, quantitative and qualitative question is two things, and mixed. That's it. But the other researchers, other studies, more detailed type of research question is 7. Descriptive, exploratory, explanatory, comparative, predictive, quantitative, the qualitative. This is for 7 type of research question. And the other pictures is report different type of research. This is a little bit different research questions. But anyway, the research type. First thing is report research. Report research means is I survey or literature survey or more questionnaire survey, even if any kind of research, and I report to the other groups or my boss, something like that. This is report research. That is aim is report to the boss or groups. The qualitative research is what is the qualitative. And the quantitative research is volume or some how many people support or something. As analytical research is analyzed. And the persuasive research means is I want to say to the another groups for persuade. This is very good trend and a new trend, and then I'll make it the research and persuade the groups or other people. This is persuasive. And experimental research. Experimental research means it's repeated experiment and then getting some output. This is experimental research thing. Repeat again, and then get us some result. And survey research. Survey research means I fix it some groups, and then what is your character, which is question, and what is your favorite or most of like it or concern about that. These things is survey research. Survey research using the questionnaire mostly. And problem solving research. So you can make the output. Output means answer. And how can you make resolve the problems? And then you can make some many method for questionnaire, and then you report for the problem solving research. This is for many kind of different type of research. So and also the what makes the research question good? Which question is good or bad? Something like that. This is for later we will review again. But which question, research question is good or not? So the research.com shows these things. These 4 things is good questioning, good research questioning. It doesn't have been answered before. It means is if you questionnaire repeat it again, and then slowly you can change your mind. That's why it hasn't been answered before. Because it's I like the for example, so I like the blue color, and the next questionnaires ask, you like the blue? And the other question is, you dislike the blue, you dislike the yellow or red? And then the people can change the mind. So exactly the people no repeated answered people. So first, good question, research question is not repeated. So it hasn't been answered before. And second thing is the question, research question aims to increase the understanding of the research subject. So what is the goal for questionnaire? It means that I want to understanding the questions and also research subject. What is the reason? So the questionnaire has some aims, but the questioners also has to same aims. That's why the question answers is same aims. Also, third, good research question is generates more questions, keeping research programs theoretically and empirically progressive. It means you cannot make any kind of questions because it's not based on or support, back up the literature. Literature means it's formal research. So you cannot make any question It's not research question. So what is this question? Depends on or based on the last or before study. And then you can choose that. So last time, I shows that the research process is second, reviewing literature means you have to find the foundation. And then you can make the new questionnaire. Also last, what makes the good questionnaire, a good research question? It is specific to the current interest of the research community. It means you can make the specified issues is okay, but now currently interest area is related community. These things is very good research question. So it is not related nowadays or new trend. It's not important things there. But some people's very specified area is concerned about the specified area. Nowadays, very important president's role in November. So most people wants to listen to trend and the population trend, patients. Who is more supported from the peoples, Republican or more Democratic? So very specified areas, specified issues, and interested areas. But nowadays, is another question is not important things. Now we have a big issues in the world for Israel and Iran, some missile or something, and Uzbekistan, Ukraine war. Lots of problems, the Pershing and some flooded, and also in the south area, both Florida and Georgia has big problem for almost 200 people is gone, is died, something. Many issues in the world. But nowadays, first issues only for who is elected by president on November. So every news head top is related election. That's why this good research question is specified, and also currently interest area is good question, good research question, these things. Okay, so and next I show that the developing the research questions, because this thing is make questionnaire good thing. That's why to identify your topics, read the background information. This is review the literature, and refine your research search. It means last study related MG generation, and the MG generation about the idea of some iPhone. Nowadays it's changed that another research is boy. What is the difference between boy and girls of MG generation, something like that. So developing the research questions this style. Who? I said is boy and girls, MG and old generation, something like that. So specific groups, gender, sex, age, ethnicities, and socio-economic status. So key figures, it means is social population area. And to what extent? What extent? So what are the issues? And are there subtopics? There are many kinds of topics. And then subtopics. Mostly theory consists of lots of topics and subtopics. And subtopics consist of subtopics, and then these consist of their topics. And topics is moved for time and generation. So the research question is follow that. If I choose subject 1, 2, 3, and 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-1, 2, 3 consists of the subject 1 topics. And also subject 2 is 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. These things topics. Also subject 3 consists 3-1, 3-2, 3-4, 3-4. And I choose only one because it's very narrow and specified area, limited area. And I research question about this one. And somebody researched this area. Somebody researched this area. And compare them. And makes new topics. Also, these topics is moving that generation and what time base. That's why the research question is very different and very wide area. So, what extends? Topics include issues. As I said, now what is the big issues? The president election. And if I decide after 11 November 8th, and then who is that? What is the main issues in the world? I think it's Israel and the Iran war, something. So anyway, the issues is automatically moved to time based. So research question is follow this trend, these things, they say. And another developing is why. Why is this issue interesting? Why should others be interested? So, as I said, it's the same. So, why? Why means is lots of the answers in there. Why? This is very important season for president election. That's why big issues is president election. Which is more important? Which is more interesting? That's why this developing the research question. And also when? Is this a current issues? Correct. That's why more focused, more lots of research in there. Is it related to a specific period of time? Sure. Also, was there an event related to these issues? Sure. Because it's some people's not relate the new trend and fashions. It's not concentrated to questions or researches. That's why this is a timely current issues related things and then developing the researching. Where? Can you narrow to a specific geographic location? This is exactly nowadays Iran and Israel has some wars. It's bigger than or more, smaller or more some come down. And Ukraine and the Russian is specified the wars. Where? But the Ukraine war is almost 1.5 years. It's a little bit not important issues nowadays. But nowadays is related war about Israel and Iran. That's why it's which located area is more important research things. So it's developing there where, when, why, what, who. You know that it's everything we adapted is 5W1H. who, what, where, 뭐 something. 5W, 4W, 5W and 1H, something like that. So finally, I showed that what is the good research questions. There are many kind of answers there, but summarize this one. This the good research question is focused on one reasonable research issues. So if I want to the president election, but you have to make questionnaire related to the president election only. And for example, a little bit related beside that, you are Republican, are you Democratic, and then you ask to who support. This is a related question, but the good research question is focused only one research issues, only one. But the related question is, I said, is a repeated question or different question is change your answers. That's why delayed question is okay, but anyway, focused one research issues. Contains specific and narrowed idea. So if I want to survey to the people who supported to President in the United States, and then next question is how do the Israelis respond that? It's not good idea that this is things. Narrow idea is okay. Also very specific area. It's not complex then. And also good research question is researchable. Researchable means is I can calculate. That's why we are very difficult to scale. So scale means, do you like this one? This is not scale. How you weigh, how are you weigh, how you are tall. This is, we can evaluate the scales. That's why, but the problem is how you tall, how much you pound. This is scale, a pound, centimeter. There are some scales compared tools. But you like the iPhone 16? How can we scale that? Oh, I like it very much. Well, how can you compare the between peoples? So at this time, we can make the new scale tools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-point scale. I don't like it. I like it very much. This is middle. This one is we can make specified scale. And I asked the 100 guys, you like this one, this one, this one, and then I collect the questionnaire and the point. Some divided and 3.5. It means I ask, for example, 100 people buy the iPhone. 100 people buy the iPhone, and then I ask him, you like it? You are satisfied or something? And then the people 0.5, 0.1, 0.4, 0.2, 0.3, lots of questions there, and then some all point and divided the population. And then finally I got a 3.5. It means the located in here. So for example, new iPhone 16 system in here. And I can make research papers. iPhone 16 is a little bit like that. Most people don't like it, but something like that. So, but the other area I asked the same question and this area. And this is 4.4. Compare that. 3.5 versus 4.4. 4 point is more like that, better than the 3.5. But there are many problems there. I asked these 100 people, only old people, but they don't like it, the iPhone 16. But another area is 100% in front of the Usheri. And then the new guys, MG generation, is very likes the iPhone 16. So what is the problem? The very big mistake for sampling, something like that. So we cannot check it, the result 3.5, 4.5. That's why the in front of the usually means is MD generation likes the 4.5, likes the iPhone 16. But all people likes only 3.5. This is another research, even if the different area, different same question. This is scaled. Or we can say 1, 2, 3, that's it. Like it, I don't know, dislike. That's it. Only 3-point scale. 3-point scale is not detailed. Another thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the problem is, your question is, why do this only odd number? This is for 3, 2, 3, is to middle there. You cannot conscious there or recognize the point, only I think middle point. And then like or dislike system. Like system, here, 4. I think the middle. And then I like 1 more, 2 more. And then I choose 7. That's why the middle point is some point of the decision. Anyway, the 7 point is more details. For example, 6.2 or this area. More likely, more detailed explanation. So anyway, 3-point scale or 5-point scale or 7-point scale, it doesn't matter that. It depends on the questionnaire style. So you can choose your boyfriend and girlfriend. And what is your final decision? Oh, I got some Lordland or something good present from my boyfriend. And then you like it, or you don't like it. Even if you like it, you don't like it, anyway you decide your mind. And then also, what is the reason? I ask it. And then, oh, he is a very rich guy. Or, oh, he is very handsome. Oh, he is very handsome. And he's very rich. Rich means it's a good job. So I ask it, why you decide your fiancé or your husband? There are many reasons there. But handsome, what is the scale? Oh, he's very good handsome. Oh, he's very poor handsome. He is very rich. Oh, how much is? Oh, 1,000. 100,000 is 6 figure. Oh, he got 6,000 income per year. But he is only 50,000 yearly. Exactly, we can compare the 6 figure and the $50,000 to boys. This is always good job, but it's just so good job. How can we decide that? We have the point scale dollar per year. This is scale, and here's good. So looking or some status. It means he's very high tall. And the weight. Weight is pound. What is centimeter? How can we compare that? Centimeter and pound. We cannot compare that. So totally he looks good, that's it. But he's tall, always I like it. But even if he's tall but very thin, I don't like it. So everything has different scale. And finally, she decides the conclusion for I gotta propose okay or not. All factors included. But your mind is think about it. She's very handsome, but it's very poor job. It's very good job, but it's not handsome. So lots of factors in there. How can you decide that? Very difficult. Finally, you decide okay or not. Last question is okay, I agree or not. Next time, if I have chance, I'll give you the very simple decide methodology for you guys. Okay. If you want to buy the house in the United States, this is for most people dream. If you want to buy your home, which area? You should Irvine or more. I like the Chinoy. I live in Chinoy. Or Chinoy, Newport Beach, and some more LA area or Anaheim. Lots of choose, lots of chance there. And also 3 bedroom and 3 bathroom, or 4 bedroom or 2 bathroom. How many square feet? 1,500 square feet and 2,000 square feet. And how much do I have there in my pocket? Lots of factors. You cannot buy your home. Why? There are many reasons in there. Also, you guys have your son and daughters, and you want to make some dreams in the United States, and your daughters wants to enroll or admitted UCLA or USC. Most people 8 to 10 applied the college level, and if I get some congratulation letters from Ivy League, and then I'm very happy. President very happy. Some people very specified students getting the approved for Ivy League and UCLA and Stanford. I read some newspapers, very specified news. And then the students and the parents think about which school. How can we decide that? There are many reasons there. Live together a little bit, or a very long time, live together, and then I want to give the chance to separate life for my son. But there are many reasons there. How can you decide that? The reason is you don't have the unified scale. UCLA and UC Berkeley is long distance and very near. Distance is scale. But which like it? Depends on you. But it's I believe very far. But the UC Berkeley is a little bit far, or something like that. How can you decide that? Because we have very different scale. So later, this is for very interesting and very useful for your decision making for different situation. Later, I'll give you that chance. How can we decide? I'll buy the house. I own a house, my own home. In the UCLA, in the Irvine, are very good, but expensive. But I don't have money. And Anaheim Hills, a little bit cheap, better than the Irvine. But money is covered that. At this time, how can you decide that? I want to make the more interesting, and some more good area, and the good traffic, escape the traffic, something. There are lots of reasons there. how can we unify the scale? Later I will give you that. Okay? Okay, come back in here. What is a good research questions? Yes, so these are feasible and likely to be answered. If I read the questionnaire and then very difficult, is this long or not good questionnaire? Also, research question is original and authentic. It means is reviewed literature, formal study. You cannot make the new one. You cannot create the questionnaire. You do not need that. Also, research question is relevant to your study field. Exactly. It's not related, it's not a good idea. Also, research question offers adequate scope for analyzed. Adequate scope means, for example, this time. 3-point scale and 5-point scale and 7-point scale. 7-point scale is more detailed output, but very difficult to analyze that. So it is adequate. Okay, 5-point scale is very adequate scope of analysis. That's it. Sometimes it's 7 points. Sometimes, mostly you can use your own bank in the state. So the most bank system is asking you received service, and then automatically you got an email from the bank. What is you are satisfied? At that time I saw this, I remember 10-point system, 10 scale. So more detailed. Anyway, the adequate scope means is cannot easily answer that. This is the good question. Okay, what is the time there? Okay, that's all. I cannot move the more things, but the time is past that. Okay.